Peace, what's up? This is Jarrell with Quantum Light Consciousness. Today we're going to talk about controlling the mind. So, there's a pragmatism going around in the traditional education system and in the psychological traditional sense of what the mind is, what it does, and where thought actually comes from. I just wanted to shed some light on this issue and, this understanding of where, humans exist in their bodies, as if the brain is everything when it actually isn't. And I don't want to make this kind of like a matter-of-fact video. I just want to just shed some light on what I've seen from my experiences. So you have your physical brain, and you have your mind. And you basically use your mind as a tool to do stuff that you get done in your day-to-day life, You use it to run a family, you use it to utilize your skills at your professional occupation, for your skills in the marketplace and responsibilities that you may have, in your life, driving a car, picking up your kids, just handling stuff throughout your days. And that's cool. That's the basics of 3D reality. Where I want to get into is utilizing the mind to get clarity, actual clarity, where you realize what your reality actually is and where you've been your entire life. You think you're living a life, but you're living a life based off of the mundane programming that's been handed to you since you're born. You have to realize that your mind doesn't just regurgitate the thought forms and energy forms and emotional patterns that are reflected against yours. You decide to utilize that because the mind works as a mirror, okay? What is projected into it, it only knows to utilize that. It's like a computer. If you put a command into the computer system, that computer system is going to run that command on auto select, all right? It's like a select as you wish run computer system by the self being you. So where you get over getting out of the mundane consciousness of what the mind is and what the mind isn't is actually getting into your heart and then controlling your mind through your heart. Okay? So you have your mind and you can utilize that to see clear, to see as a unified being from within the soul of your deepest depth of where you exist from, which is the center of your core, your heart. So you have to get your mind out of the way. In order to get it out of the way, you have to understand it. If you ever been in a competitive sporting situation, or you ever played action sports, and say, you have to hit a shot in a basketball game, or you have to throw a pass in a football game, and there's a couple seconds left on the clock, or it's last game, game 7 out of 7 games, and the score is very tight. You want to get that done, and you want to make what happens, and you realize when you're acting, your mind is totally quiet, your mind is totally silent, and it's that flow state where you realize that it's possible to control the mind. It's possible to control your energy that flows through the mind, and that's done by will alone. You can also do it with breath, you can do it with meditation, although you don't have to be some type of yogi master, some type of Zen Buddhist monk to actually figure out the inner workings of the mind. You can be a normal person as long as your soul is willing, as long as you're willing to learn the non-traditional stuff. So I don't want to make this video as a super, dogmatic, this is what it is, do this now. No, it's you have the choice to either accept information or, toss it aside and focus on it later, or not focus on it because nobody else will look at it, or nobody else is looking up from their phones to even know that information like this exists. So I'm just, here just chilling, just passing the song along to you. So take it for what it is to you. Okay? So you have your mind. You exist inside your body. And inside yourself, you have two fields as one. You have your mind, then you have your inner mind. Okay? You can say your mind, your basic mind, and you do your normal, mundane, day-to-day routines as your two lobes, your two hemispheres. Okay? And then you have your inner mind. That inner mind is the core processor of your actual brain. It's called the midbrain. Okay? So a lot of people have gotten there in psychology, and they talk about midbrain and manifesting all types of crazy stuff, millions of dollars, perfect health, and I can do that because that's very close to like super, above average consciousness. And in this video, we're going to just go past that and level the mind with the inner mind. So with the inner mind and the mind, you have yourself within your own energy field, projecting your own thoughts, and then understanding your own thoughts as you project them, understanding that you're projecting them. So it's like being in a vortex within a vortex, a toroidal vortex within a toroidal vortex. Okay? Picture a golden sphere of light within a golden sphere of light, and then you, in the center of the golden sphere, project out with your own reality, with your own understanding of yourself, to the outer sphere. And then on the outer sphere is your perception of the entire world. It's like a filter, okay, with the inner mind. So existing, with your inner processor as your core, as your main processor, you are running that from the heart. So you run the inner processor from the heart. So you have to get into your heart and then kind of like remote control and focus through there. So the way to do it is get into the heart. All right, I have a meditation on that on my website. It's called the Inner Fire Meditation. Go into that and get into the heart, and then come back to the video. So basically, when you start to realize that you're in a holographic matrix, and in order to see through the holographic matrix, you have to see through the people who are in the holographic matrix who don't know that they're in a holographic matrix. That's the first step. And then you have to see through the actual holographic construct of the matrix. And then you have to see through yourself as a part of that holographic construct of the matrix, okay? So in order to do that, you have to know what it's made up out of, okay? And you realize that it's just all geometry, You exist in your energy field as geometry, as consciousness. Consciousness is basically just organization of correct concepts, just like correct evolution, positive evolution for the highest benefit of any timeline, of any outcome. So when you begin to get into the workings of your mind, you have your inner sphere, which is like your midbrain, and in this inner sphere that you're viewing from, like your third eye, you're viewing from it like a camera lens, okay? And then you're projecting out. You're projecting out, light out, and then there's a screen, okay? There's a screen of everything you could possibly see, and the point of it all is perspective, is proportion of perspective. So based off what you could see, say if you're standing at a beach, that's the perspective that you want to take, because that's basically as wide as you could possibly see, So from your point of standing to horizon. So that's the level of proportion that the mind perceives that on basic default. So when you're looking at your screen, the screen's blank, and it's kind of like there may be like some like diversions or like something going through the screen, like a negative hook or like some type of like energy cord. All right, it's like you have to just spin your energy to move that off. So you begin spinning your energy from the heart, right, with your intent, and as you spin your energy, you're spinning it upwards, and as you spin it upwards, your entire sphere goes out. Okay, so the basis of this is to get to a place where you can actually perceive the holographic construct and yourself as a holographic construct. So in order to do that, you just have to organize the quadrants of your mind and your energy field. And I did this other day, okay, in meditation. I did this other day. Instantly when I did this, I got beings showing up directly right in front of me, okay? So I'm not talking from like a theory perspective here. I'm talking from direct experience of I applied the science of geometry in my own mind, and this is what happened. Okay, so the quadrants of the mind, you basically have Vitruvius, all right? The entire energy field, the guy standing there like this, okay? That's the basic temple level of your mind, human mind body system, okay? And that's just the horizontal, okay? The vertical, so when I saw these beings, when I leveled the top view down, that's when I got the magic happening, all right? So the first one I did 4 quadrants, basic quadrants, 4 cubes, and 1 cube. And then my sphere at the center, cube, okay? So I got, first I got my higher self level. I hope you guys can see this. Got my higher self level here, okay? And as I did that, right when I did that, the Ascended Master Hermes showed up, like directly in front of me, and he's like force glowing light blue electric energy. And he's just standing there. He showed up like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I was like, holy God, like this is actually working. Like, I'm actually doing something right. Gonna make a video about it. No, that's not what I thought directly right then, but here's the video for it. So you got your 4 quadrants, okay? And then you at the center, and you just stand on that. This is your circle, this is your sphere. You stand on that, you get to your higher self level. I'm guessing this is like 4D to 11th density, just like the beings who are very like, they hit God level, but they're like, they hit eternal level, but they're still not totally like large. So the next day, I implemented this in meditation. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just expand it and see what happens. So I dropped this grid under my feet, okay? That's what I'm standing on now. That's my sphere. This is the grid, okay? And then, right when I did that, I get Thoth standing directly right in front of me in his Royal Bird Tribe outfit, Royal Bird King awesomeness. He's got like this awesome headdress on, and he's just standing there, just like official, like totally like king-like. It was nuts. All right, so that's what happened when I implemented this right here. This is a hypercube. All right, top-down hypercube. You got your sphere right here in a cube, and then you have your cubes around your cube around the actual cube in the center. Okay, so you got 9 cubes in all from like a 2D perspective, but it's actually a hypercube because you got a cube in the center and then a cube around your cube. So this is basically deity level proportion, and when you have this, you can basically raise your vibration all the way up to 13D and above. So this is 13D level. So that's what I really wanted to get to in this video, because when I did that, that was amazing. It helps you walk across the top of the labyrinth, okay? You see people in traditional media, traditional psychology and education, and they're talking about the mind, how to stop the mind chatter. Like, every time I think about that, that's basically just like the visual I get is like a person and then like a monkey sitting in their brain just like typing a whole bunch of bullshit, just like banging on the computer, because you see what's happening. You know they're trying to figure out their mind, their thoughts, and with like their ego attached, and there's just like negative energy just like coming in and just screwing it all up. It's like they can't get to that point of total organization to really look at the mind of God and implement themselves in it, because their dogmatic programs, their belief system programs, are blocking them from even looking at that stuff. When you organize your mind like this, you get to actually get to a point where you can get to a position of elevation. Instead of weaving through the maze, I used to have visualizations of weaving through a labyrinth, walking. It was literally like a Windows desktop screensaver scenario. I would see, like, right before I go to sleep or wake up, I'm like, here's my point of perspective. I'm going, and then I'm turning a corner, and then I turn another corner, and I turn another corner, and I turn another corner, and between each corner is a door opening, door opening, door opening, door opening, It's exactly like that. It's exactly like you are a living biological crystalline computer system. You're in it. You're in it right now. You're watching this video. You are in that. And it helps to know what you're made of. Helps to know the geometry that makes up your actual physical being on a mental, emotional, psychological, and etheric level. When you do that, you connect with your higher self. You connect with your star family. Connect with the reason why you've incarnated, and you don't have to you still have to look at the bullshit belief systems, but you don't have to tolerate yourself not knowing that there's anything else that you can believe, because you actually go out the way to see that you believe it. And in order to do that, you got to look up from your phone. You have to look up from what people are going to think of you if you decide to spend your time doing this instead of watching TV every day you come home from work or whatever. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys like this video. I don't really know if I covered it directly, as a streamlined process of where you can digest all the information word for word directly. I hope you guys can understand and assimilate the information that I said. So I'll go ahead and edit the video as best I can. But right before I sat down to record the video, I had 7 hawks swirling in a vortex across the field over there. They're swirling, swirling, swirling. First there was 1, and then there's 3, and then I look up and there's 7. Literally, if you know Keys of Enoch, all right, there's a dove coming down, and then the 7 flames. Okay, 7 is a Stargate. All right. That's the sacred number of your Stargate. You have your circle, and then you have your 6 circles around that, but that's a completely different video. But, that's basically seeing a huge vortex directly in front of you right before you're about to record a video. That's pretty cool. So if you guys would like a session, I do sessions at quantumlight.net, healing, intuitive coaching. And numerology coming soon, along with just energy readings by themselves. So one love, peace, talk to you soon.